Hello everyone, thanks for joining in. This video is about video marketing and I've got the perfect man for the job. It's not me, but it's Brian, my friend from Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Me and Brian have met at a few masterminds and we're both in the same industry. So we're going to talk a lot about YouTube ads and how we can get your name out there, your brand, your services, and how you can leverage the power of YouTube. So first of all, Brian, thanks so much for joining in.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, we were just in the other room and he was like, let's go knock it out. I was like, let's go, let's give some value.
So before we get started, tell everyone who you are, what you do.
Yeah, my name is Brian Moncada. I'm the founder of adspend.com. We are a direct response YouTube advertising agency. We specialize in helping high ticket coaching, courses, and info product businesses scale past 7 and 8 figures with YouTube ads.
You said a very interesting thing just now, direct response. Most people think about YouTube as being branding, top of the funnel, wasting money. Yeah. Well, most people think it's wasting money, but we don't. So what would you simplify this for in simple layman's term when you say direct response? What would you classify that?
Yeah, our goal when we run YouTube ads for clients, when we work with a client is to spend $1 of theirs to make them a minimum of $1, $2, $3, or $4 back. You know, $1 I say, like people watching this right now, like, I don't want to just spend $1 and make $1 back. Well, if you knew that $1 back could help you make $10 in a future sale, you would. And so direct response, very simply, is how to turn a click into a customer, a client, a high-paying, essentially, mastermind member.
And this is where most of the advertisers go wrong, because the conversion they go after is the first transaction and not the customer lifetime value. Yeah. Which me and you know that if you don't know that customer lifetime value, you're in big trouble because you're going to run out of cash.
And we've unfortunately learned this the hard way, especially when I was first getting my start. You know, we would work with clients that have one product and they live and die off that product. Let's say it's a $47, ebook or digital program. And we would get them customers for $30 and they'd be happy. But then slowly over time, because they didn't have a back-end product, something to increase the lifetime value of their business, they would then be unprofitable in a matter of months because there's nothing on the back end to sell them to their customers, right? So 100%, it's the LTV. You need to raise that to be able to really scale with YouTube or any sort of a paid ads platform in general, like Google Ads.
Yeah. So someone watching this video right now, they're thinking, these guys keep on talking about YouTube, day in, day out. How can someone get started with YouTube ads at low budget, low cost, and with simple iPhone and a microphone like this?
Yeah, 100%. We tell all of our clients the same thing. If you're new to YouTube ads, you don't need any fancy production equipment. You don't need any fancy, studio lighting or video production team even. You can use your iPhone. Most iPhones nowadays have, if not the same, better quality than most, cameras 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And so with the video you're watching right now on this is filmed on an iPhone, right? And the quality is good. You can clearly see the beautiful background. You can film a video just like this in a matter of 30 minutes or less, following a very simple script framework. We use the script framework that I learned from my first mentor, Dean Graziosi, who sold hundreds of millions of dollars online, especially in the info marketing space, infomercial space, I should say, before there even was Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads. And he taught us hook, story, close, right? You need to hook the ideal client that you want. You need to tell a story that's educational as well as entertaining to build credibility. Basically let them know that you are the leader and you are the credible person to teach them how to solve their problems. Actually teach them the what to solve their problems, not the how, because the how is what they get when you use the offer, right? The call to action. You tell them the close. You say, click the link to learn more. And that's when you tell them how to solve their problems with your offer. So that's a very, simple framework and setup that anyone can use to get started immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though me and Brian are kind of like direct competitors in the same niche, but there's so much work out there. You have got to collaborate, and that is the key to online success and marketing. Don't compete, collaborate, because the more you collaborate, the more you're going to go places. So for example, a simple tip, and we're talking YouTube ads, and most people will be, but why should I give you my secrets and why should you give me your secrets? But internet is such a big thing. There are no secrets anymore.
100%.
So, if we collaborate and this video goes on my channel, you're going to like it, share it. Your subscribers, 100%. Your followers are going to watch it, and they're going to see me and my followers are going to see you.
Yep.
And it's a win-win situation. So if somebody is watching this video and you want to get started, it's a simple video like this. We're just outside here in beautiful weather in San Diego, and you can just interview somebody, get a client, get an expert, and get started and turn that into a little video.
Yep.
And that's all you need to do. Now, the other myth about YouTube ads is how we need big budgets. Do you?
We personally, with our clients, start with a minimum of $500 a day. Now, that may be a lot to someone who's just starting their business. However, that's what we prefer because of the clients that we're working with and the size of their business. Most of our clients that we work with, they're doing $1 million a year already. Now, if you're someone who's doing six figures, or even you want to get to six figures, right? You can start with as little as $100 a day, even $50 a day. You can break the campaigns out to be $10 each, and you can get one lead per campaign. That one lead can then book a call. That one call can then become a client. So the budget is really preferred to be in, we like to say, whatever the cost of your product or service is, whatever the cost of your program is. Now, if you're selling a $37 program, right? Start your budget with $37 a day. Now you can use two campaigns with that, $15 each, maybe an extra budget for the one campaign. However, it's really preferred on your budget, right? So we prefer a minimum of $100 a day. With our clients, we do $500 a day, but it's really dependent upon you and where you're starting at. You don't need a huge budget to get started. It's really actually commonly preferred to use smaller budgets so you can prime the ad account for scale and then make sure your offer and your creatives are validated.
And that is for your done-for-you agency, which you're talking about. But you also have a coaching program, and I guess most of them are small business owners, professionals, or coaches. I doubt they will spend 500, but then you'll teach them how to set up
5,000. 5,000 a month is what they usually start with, and we tell them, let's start with 5,000 a month. Start small.
Start small. Optimize and then scale, because without optimizing and reaching that break-even point, you are going to lose money.
And it's probably like what you tell your clients too. You got to make sure before you start running ads, you have a budget for at least 3 months. Right? This isn't an overnight thing. This isn't a one trick pony here. This isn't us trying to, go home the first night, right? We're trying to wine and dine the customers here. But ultimately, you have to be able to spend for 3 months to optimize and then to scale. The first month is launching and testing. The second month is optimizing. And then the third month is really scaling. If you can follow that 3-month program, you can really outlast your competition because they're going to go for the one night.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it's not only the ads, it's the offer, the landing pages, the funnel. Is so many jigsaw puzzle pieces where, if one is missing, the whole thing is going to collapse. And then you're going to blame, YouTube ad on Google took my money and took my share of my bank, or the agency or whatever, right? So you got to make sure that, first of all, you stay at the ad level of the Google ads, set up your goal metrics for the view rate, then the CTR. If you're not getting those, don't touch the funnel. Right? Just look at your ads, because your ads hasn't got that hook which Brian talked about earlier on. And then you say, okay, I'm getting my CTRs, my view throughs. People love when they see my ads, they keep on watching it, but they're still not clicking. Then you need to optimize the call to action and so on. When they get the click, you go on the landing page, they're still not converting, then don't touch your ads or your campaigns. Then you need to start working on your funnel. And it's a long process, as Brian said. 3 months is the minimum. You need to allocate a budget that I'm comfortable losing that budget.
100%. You've got to be comfortable losing it. Now, not say you will lose it. You got to be okay with if you do, because you're buying data and you're buying the stats. Because, like we were just talking about right here, it's usually never a traffic problem. Traffic's usually the easiest part. However, you got to work with someone, like the two of us who can get you the traffic, the specialized qualified traffic, to be able to turn those clicks into clients.
And some of the offers and the products we see, it's not market fit.
No.
And then you think, I'm going to bang my head against the wall.
I have a perfect story about this. Just this past weekend, I was at a mastermind here in Los Angeles, for example, and a doctor came up to me, and he teaches other doctors how to grow their practices. But there's only about 15,000 of those people in the United States, and he wants to run YouTube ads. And I was just very frank with him. I said, do you think one of these doctors is going to be watching YouTube ads? And he said, yeah, but it'll be hard to target them. And I said, exactly. So would it be smart to focus your time and attention on cracking YouTube ads as your main platform? Or would it be smarter to go on something like LinkedIn, or to an event or a conference where these doctors go to improve their practice, right? And that was a really breath of fresh air for him because he thanked me. He said, dude, thank you so much, because honestly, no one's ever told me that. And I already had this feeling deep down that my clients aren't on YouTube. I said, it's not that they're not on YouTube, but the chances of you targeting them with your ads on YouTube are going to be very, very slim, and you're going to be beating your head against the wall trying to do
And
it.
it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack.
100%.
And LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, at the end of the day, it's a video, the format, and that's what we're talking about here, video marketing. Video helps build trust.
Yes.
Quickest, cheapest, easiest, and the fastest way you can ever imagine. And that's why we guys are in video marketing. So thank you so much, my
Thank you
friend.
for having me.
And lovely talking to you, and we'll make some more videos and some more sessions
Training,
like
yeah.
this. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you all for watching, and I'll put Brian's website and all the information around this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.